He sees you as you are. He loves you as you are. And he calls you to follow him. I was walking through a school hallway a few weeks back, and one of these videos was playing, and I heard my voice, and I kind of poked my head in, and I saw myself on the screen. I'm like, ah, it was really awkward for me anyway. I think back to being a kid, growing up, becoming a teenager. There's lots of moments where I was certainly awkward. I think we all go through those sorts of experiences. When your voice starts to crack, when you start tripping over your own feet. It's awkward. In my adult life, I asked my wife out and then chickened out halfway through. I started by really boldly saying, hey, Jen, we should. And then I chickened out. I got scared. And I said, talk sometime.
Okay, here is the question. Would you like to go out on a date?
No.
Gratefully, she did want to talk sometime, and this worked out quite well for me. But this awkwardness has spanned my entire life.
My precious.
And I think back to being 15 and being so cognizant, so consciously aware of how awkward I was. And in many ways, I think this is what drew me to the Catholic Christian faith. This is what drew me back to the faith I'd been baptized into. Even though I was awkward, the community of my church wanted me there, noticed when I was missing. And more importantly, the Jesus who was at the center of this community, he wanted me. He didn't care if I was really great at stuff or really lousy at stuff. He didn't care if I had it all figured out and I was really confident or if I chickened out halfway through an important question. He knew me and he loved me. And these are the things I still lean on today. That despite the fact that, I'm not a great athlete, I'm an adequate musician, I'm still pretty darn awkward when it comes down to it. Jesus knows me, Jesus loves me, and Jesus calls me to follow him. So as we reach the end of the school year, as you prepare to head off into summer vacation and then into careers or other schools or universities, whatever your next might be, what I pray most that you would understand is that lesson I learned at 15, that lesson that meant so much to me. That God saw past my awkwardness and wanted me anyway. This is the great lesson that you see when God sends Samuel to anoint King David. When King David is just a mere shepherd boy. God tells Samuel that we get caught up in the external, but that God looks at the heart. Jesus certainly did this with all those he called to follow him, especially the apostles. And he does it with you. When God looks at you, he doesn't see what you see in the mirror. He doesn't see the imperfections, the things that you wish were different or better somehow. He sees you as you are. He loves you as you are. And he calls you to follow him. It has been a joy and a privilege to share some of these stories with you over the course of this year. And I pray that you have the clarity and the courage to follow him, to talk to him, to fall in love with him. It has made the biggest difference in my life, and I pray it can do the same in yours.